Did you guys know that Journey didn't originally start with Steve Perry, but Greg Rowley, if I'm not mistaken? And he was the founding keyboard player and vocalist of Journey. You guys told me this in the comment section, so yeah, I'm curious how many people knew that it didn't start with Steve Perry. He just joined afterwards. And what we're checking out right now, this is Feeling That Way, 1978, the official music video. And I know this now because I looked it up, and you guys told me, thank you, that Steve Perry then joined, and he didn't immediately take over as the lead singer. It was a collaborative effort on the vocals, let's call it that. So yeah, we're going to get the vocals from Mr. Greg and Steve Perry together on this one. I might look, I've done a couple Journey reactions. I do a lot of reactions, and sometimes I get lost in all these reactions, and I'll forget like who's singing on this, who's singing on that. Like I've been diving into the Eagles, for example, and they're all vocalists basically, right? So it's hard to keep up sometimes, but I'm doing my best, man. Support the original, link is down below, and let's dive into it.
Open my eyes to a new kind of way.
That's Greg.
All the good times that you said. Are you feeling? You feeling that way too? Or am I just a fool? When the summer's gone, she'll be there, standing by the light. What she's been to, where she's gone to.
My bad. That was an alarm for medication for my daughters. My bad. I'll run it back a little bit. It connects to my phone.
When the summer's gone, she'll be there, standing by the light. What she's been to, where she's gone to. She should know wrong from right. Is she feeling? Are you feeling? You're feeling that way too? Or am I just a fool? A new road's waiting, you touch my life. Oh, soft and warm on a summer's night.
Nice harmonies.
You're the only one, I told you. The only one I love. The lovely one I'm thinking of. When the summer's gone, she'll be there, standing by the light. What she's been to, where she's gone to. She should know wrong from right. Is she feeling? Are you feeling? You're feeling that way too. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're feeling that way. When the summer's gone, she'll be there, standing by the lights. What she's been to, where she's gone to. She should know wrong from right. Is she feeling?
This is a banger. This is awesome because Journey is fucking incredible. So going back in time, diving into these classics that are what? That are almost 50 years old, right? This music is timeless. Yes, it sounds like an era. Yes, it sounds like the beginning of the 80s, which is what it is. It's the end of the 70s, yeah. So it's just like a new thing. And for Journey, it's a new sound as well, because from what I remember looking up, they didn't sound like they sound here and they sound after with all the other songs, because they transitioned to this arena rock, which is somewhat what we're getting the beginning of here, right? Because this is the first album that they're doing it together. And that is what really skyrocketed their career. That is what put them on the map, so to say. Journey to me makes incredibly classic music in a sense of like you can definitely put an era to it because it sounds that way, but it's timeless because it's that good. We don't really get that much music like that nowadays. Nowadays, it's very much focused on productions, which sometimes causes things to be overproduced. Things don't have the same feelings. Things don't have the same soul that it used to have, which is one thing I'm going to talk about here. It's the soul in Steve Perry's vocals. Now, Greg's vocals are very good too, sound good too, but this is the difference. To me, listening to this, you guys might disagree, but I think this is why Steve Perry took over eventually, and that Greg took more of a backing vocalist role, right? If I'm not mistaken, because Steve Perry has that it factor. That's the difference. Because when Greg is singing, it sounds good and he's hitting the notes. But when Steve Perry sings, it's just that it factor. He's got that shit. That's the difference. From the moment he starts singing, you're like, yep, recognizable vocals, stands out. There's so much passion to his singing as well. Like, that man can sing. We all know, like, you guys, I don't need to tell you guys know this. You guys have been telling me, right? Right. I mean, there's a few things I could talk about, little techniques at the end with using panning. So it's interesting to hear that this was also, I mean, I knew this was a big thing in the 1970s because Led Zeppelin did it. And that's when I realized, Led Zeppelin, maybe they were the pioneers of utilizing these techniques with the psychedelic, like atmospheric vibe rock that they did, right? So panning is utilizing left and right in stereo and putting only one instrument or one sound effect to that. Sometimes it goes from one sound to the other, like it gradually goes from right to left, for example, and then it sounds like it's traveling through your head if you're wearing headphones, which is, I think, the best way to listen to things like this, through headphones, to get all the little details going on. So like this picture I brought up, this frame, this is analog. So to the people who, most people I think know what this is, but I'm very sure there's people like me who only figured out afterwards while diving into the classics what analog is. So this is how they used to record it. All these knobs, all these dials, this is what the studios used to look like. You used to buy studio time, you used to have the band set up, and everything was recorded in one go. And then everything was live. So basically every recording you hear is a one take live. Nowadays it's all, artists can, through social media and internet, things like that, artists can send in WAV files, which is the highest quality of audio, and then engineers or producer or whatever can put them all together, almost copy pasting stuff from files that are sent in, and you don't even have to be in the same room, which is an unfortunate thing nowadays because it misses that authenticity, I think, or that feeling of like being there together and getting that all together. There's other reasons why that's not the best way to approach, different microphones, recording, different XLR cables, different interfaces, things like that, different MIDIs. But, that's some nerdy technical stuff. I bet I'll be boring y'all with that. But this is how it used to be. This is recording via magnetic waves, if I'm not mistaken. And it has that sound to it. Analog recordings have warmth to them. Like there's a certain... Sometimes you almost hear this humming in the songs. There's a certain like white noise a little bit, almost a little bit of static. Like it has this warmth And another thing I mean with warmth is the equalizer. There's lows, which are usually your bass sounds, your bassy sounds. So with a drum kit, you want certain things to be, you want your equalizer to have, emphasize certain lows, because the kicks need to have that punchiness to them, right? But overall, the entire thing kind of sits in the middle of the EQ, which gives it that warm sound. That's where the warmth is coming from, which is usually the case with analog recordings. So to me, vocal wise, Rolly sounded warmer when he was singing, and Steve Perry, there's a contrast. He sounded bright to me, and the harmonizing part actually really worked well together. I kind of wish they did more of that together. Maybe on this album they did, and I just don't know yet, and you guys have to let me know which ones to check out. Just put them down below and I'll go through them. Yeah, to me, Steve Perry, he's a phenomenal vocalist, but he never overdoes it. I don't think he oversins, but he does, like, it's that right amount that it needs to be. It's quite effortless when you're listening to him. Like, it comes across as effortless but great. It's interesting that this is not one of their biggest hits, maybe because it isn't that, how do you say this? It isn't as catchy as the other ones. Perhaps that's why. Because it is like a hybrid of arena rock, but then also not really. So I can see why it's not one of their biggest hits. But to me, I think it's one of my most preferred ones to listen to. Like, this one was very audibly pleasing. So this might be like one of those underrated gems within the fan base, that the true core fans would love it. But not everybody knows about this one, because this one isn't as big as the other ones that I first initially reacted to, So it's interesting listening to what the beginning is and knowing now what the beginning is of Journey. So if you guys want me to check out another one, perhaps from this album, you let me know down below, or anything else, another band, just put it down in the comments and I'll do my best to get to it. I'm out.